Greetings, friends. My name is Peter, and welcome back to Retro Unscripted Reviews. This is episode number 2, and today I'm taking a look at NFL Blitz. The PlayStation version is the one that will be playing on the GX TV behind me. NFL Blitz got its start in 1997 in arcades, if you remember what arcades are. NFL Blitz is to football what NBA Jam was to basketball several years before, or what NHL Open Ice was to hockey in between Jam and Blitz. NFL Blitz, like NBA Jam, gets rid of a lot of those pesky rules. So you won't see pass interference, you won't see personal fouls, you won't see holding, you won't see false starts here. There are no whistles except for what happens at the end of the play. And even then, anything goes. So if you feel like jumping on your downed opponent, do it. Nothing's going to happen. There will be no yellow flags in this game. The game also institutes one very different rule from the NFL, and that's that first downs are obtained only after 30 yards to gain, not 10. So that means you can only get 3 first downs when you traverse a field, depending on where you're starting from. The maximum of 3 first downs. So possession is always going back and forth between offense and defense, and that keeps the game moving at a fast pace. The game is easy to learn. There are 3 buttons and the joystick or the D-pad. There is a turbo button, much like NBA Jam. Then there is a button to pass, and there is a button to hurdle or jump. It's very easy to learn, and the game is just a lot of fun to play. I can tell you from personal experience that NFL Blitz took a lot of my money between arcades and other places that I saw the machine. As a matter of fact, I used to play at a small sports bar in late 1997 and early 1998. And it would be funny because my friends would be having meals, having their bar food, and I would be over at the NFL Blitz machine trying to get one step closer to getting my name on the leaderboard. So obviously when the home version of NFL Blitz came out in the fall, or actually it's the late summer of 1998, I had to have it, quoting Billy and Jay from the Game Chasers. So I bought it. It was one of the first purchases that I made when I worked at Funcoland, when I started working at Funcoland in the fall of 1998. The other one, for trivia purposes, was Mortal Kombat 4. So the PlayStation version of NFL Blitz is very, very close to the arcade, to be quite honest. There are some differences in the player models. The player models are a bit blockier. They're not quite as smooth. The field details aren't quite what they are for the coin-op version. But the compromises that were made in order to get an arcade game onto the PlayStation are very acceptable in this version and for the Nintendo 64 version as well. Other notable differences for the home versions: you can play through full NFL seasons rather than just playing the stepladder arcade mode. The N64 version allows you to design your own plays, which is also pretty nifty. In fact, NFL Blitz 99 in arcades would let you take your Nintendo 64 memory card to the arcade with your created play on it, put it in, and you could actually run it, which I thought was ingenious. But that was the N64 version only. You couldn't bring your PlayStation memory card because you couldn't make plays on the PlayStation version. One difference with the PlayStation version versus the N64 version is the inclusion of full motion video sequences that are pulled generally from the coin-op original. Also, the sound quality is less compressed and sounds a bit more pure in the PlayStation version versus the N64 version. Finding an arcade version of NFL Blitz today may be a bit complicated. You don't see it often. Of course, arcades are kind of a rarity these days. But finding a home version of NFL Blitz for your PlayStation or for your Nintendo 64 is not as complicated. A lot of smaller independent video game stores should have a copy of Blitz hanging around for either system. The good news is that the game is not all that expensive and is still a blast to play today, even with the rosters being somewhat out of date. Do I recommend NFL Blitz for your library? I sure as heck do. It is a lot of fun to play, even with the catch-up logic that can make some of the games cheap. But then again, that's a midway game for you, keeping the games close until the fourth quarter or until the very end, where the last possession can mean the difference between winning and losing, and that makes it really exciting. So thumbs up for NFL Blitz, especially on conference weekend. So whether you're a Colts fan, a Patriots fan, a Seahawks fan, or a Packers fan, trash talk your friends and put this in your game system this coming weekend to get ready for a great weekend of football. I hope you guys enjoyed this review today. We'll do another one soon. And until the next time on Retro Unscripted, take care. Thanks for watching.